5. Please open your eyes. Friends, at this time, I will be very happy to address any inquiries that you may have, whether it was related to the topic of today, duality versus oneness, or any other spiritual inquiry. And then later on today, I will be happy to conduct personal interviews one-on-one. So if anybody had any private, personal matter to address, we could also do that. Hello.
Does this sound? Okay, great, thank you. So in the instance where someone feels like they're experiencing more of the negative side of duality, or they feel down on God or faith, what are some things someone can do to kind of feel like get back in the swing of things, or feel like they're back where they should be?
Thank you. Ishwarji has explained to us throughout the years that the nature of the physical world is up and down. It happens to every one of us, including the perfect living master. Why? This is the nature of the physical world. Some days are good to us, other days are not so good to us. What can we do at the time where, like you said, we are pulled toward the negative aspect of the physical world? First and foremost, we all have a tendency to remember the Master more frequently when we are in situations of despair than when we are in situations of hope. So remember the Master, the one who has conducted the spiritual initiation on you. Remember him. He is inside you. At the time of spiritual initiation, he has implanted himself in you. He's inside each and every one of his initiates. You can remember the Master. How? By being regular in your daily meditation practice. Meditation is extremely important, especially at the time where we feel negativity is overwhelming us. Focus on your meditation and remember the Master during meditation with love and devotion. That is certainly going to help. Other techniques would be any one of us who is physically fit to practice Hatha Yoga is also another excellent way to counter, to offset negativity. Also, we can practice deep breathing exercise called pranayam that also takes out the toxicity and negativity from our psyche. You could listen to your favorite type of music, any music that your soul loves to hear. You pick and choose any music you like. And many of us like many kinds of music, but it depends on your mood. It could be relaxation music, it could be Tibetan healing music, it could be Zen music, it could be Gregorian chants, anything that you truly like to listen. There are no limits, absolutely no limits. And from my own personal experience, I know that music provides profound healing. So that you could do too. And then you could also read spiritual literature, reading, whether it is from your smartphone or whether it is from a book. Reading is good. Why? Because it keeps the mind active, it keeps the mind stimulated in spiritual matters, and automatically the influence of negativity in your psyche will gradually diminish. So these are different techniques that you could use on a daily basis. And remember, anytime you are facing a very negative event that is happening to you in person, automatically start repeating your Simran, the mantra, with love and devotion, even if your eyes are open. And spontaneously, any negative power, no matter how huge it is, will dissipate. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved. I would like to ask a question about a chila, for example, that has been initiated by a perfect living master who has felt they have attained this shift in consciousness from this duality to a more unified oneness and wholeness, and then felt like they've lost it. So my question is, what about someone who's thought that they've had it or felt they had it and now feels that they've lost that and can't quite seem to get back into that awareness again, and it seems more difficult this time?
Thank you, brother. Some of us have certainly experienced oneness and wholeness, especially during meditation. However, we do tend to lose it as time passes. Why? Because we have not reached yet the full self-realization. So even though we have not attained the self-realization which occurs in the revolving cave, Bhanwar Gufa, then below that stage, in higher states of human consciousness, we do sometimes lose that experience of oneness and wholeness. So do not get discouraged. We do have experiences of oneness every once in a while. We don't seem to maintain it on a regular basis because the soul has not fully realized itself yet at the stage of revolving cave. So as long as the soul is below, even though it could be in Par Brahm, whether it is in the 10th gate, Daswan Dwar, or in Mahasun, the great void, it could be somewhere there. And that's an immense universe. Then we feel that we have lost the experience or the enjoyment of oneness. So please, let no one be discouraged if we feel that we have lost the experience of oneness and wholeness. Go back to your meditation and remember, after Trikuti, which is the highest region of the causal world, meditation is no longer useful. It's like you have reached the summit of the mountain, or a little bit below the summit of the mountain. The car, your four-wheel car has reached a certain point, then you stop it, and then you need to go ahead and use your legs to climb to the summit. So beyond Trikuti, and Ishwarji has explained to that numerous times, that beyond Trikuti, meditation is no longer useful. You only need two critical elements, love and devotion. So, from Parbrahm, beginning of the 10th gate and higher, love and devotion are the only two requirements to attain the higher spiritual regions. Brother, does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tarek.
Hello.
I've watched a lot of your videos many times over and stuff, and I just noticed, and maybe you can answer this. I don't know if this is a question or a comment, but I've always been able to pretty well. I watch them and learn a lot, and I even sort of be critical sometimes, and when I notice watching you in person, it just goes all out the window. I got millions of questions all the time. I'm always thinking. And when I actually saw, by the way, I'm sorry I didn't stand when I saw you. I just froze. And I didn't know you were beside me at first. And but do you know why that is why when I just, if you ask me questions about what you talked about today, I would have a very difficult time. I know it had to do about duality and everything. If I saw you on a video doing it, I would have digested it all. But when I'm sitting here next to you, I have a hard time recalling a lot of what you actually said in some ways. That's a comment or question. I don't know, really.
Thank you, brother. Here is my question to you. Are you happy here and now?
Yeah, I am. By the way, another comment, too, is that all of a sudden my body started doing weird things. That's like my jaw started moving around and stuff. And yes, I'm very happy I'm here. I came a long ways to see you. So yes, I'm very glad that I'm here.
Thank you, brother. I did receive a lot of comments from many brothers and sisters telling me what you have just mentioned, that when they watch a video on YouTube, it's very different than personally attend a satsang, meaning a spiritual event. Why? Ishwarji has explained that when we have a personal spiritual event such as this, the Master is here and now. So, therefore, we experience different things than when we are at the comfort of our houses watching a YouTube video. Very different. And even Ishwarji, when he was physically present amongst us, he got so many emails from his initiates, disciples, and seekers all over the world, telling him that, Ishwarji, it's very different. When we watch your YouTube videos, we are happy. However, when we attend your spiritual events, we are in bliss. So there is a difference between being happy watching the YouTube videos from the houses and physically attending a spiritual event that makes a person in bliss. And the real reason is Master is here and now amongst us.
Yeah, I believe that, yeah.
Yes, brother.
For me, during the day, I can remain centered and function. And sometimes I go through a phase of being anxious in my sleep. How do I attain peace? That's probably the subconscious coming out. How do I attain peace through the night and maintain that being centered and being at peace throughout the day? Do you have any suggestions?
Thank you, brother. My question to you is, have you been initiated or are you a seeker?
I'm a seeker, but I have been meditating for many years, since my teen years. So I know how to meditate, and I've heard Ishwar's discourses a lot, and I have an idea of how to meditate in your way, but I have not been initiated.
Understood, brother. Here is what I would recommend going forward to reduce that level of anxiety that you have been experiencing at night. When you are ready to go to bed, after you finish doing all the activities of daily living, please go ahead and sit on your bed and do your meditation that you've been doing for years. The only difference is, please withdraw your attention, not focus your attention, but withdraw your attention at the third eye center. We call it in Sanskrit Ajna. Ajna is the third eye chakra. So you withdraw your attention to the third eye center behind the physical eyes and between the physical ears. So do your meditation there for about 10 minutes and then lie down and go to bed. And I assure you, brother, that if you do that regularly with love and devotion, you are going to undoubtedly notice a significant reduction of the level of anxiety at night. Thank you.
many of us really enjoyed Ishwarji's sense of humor over the years. Maybe you'd be willing to share a little bit about the importance of the sense of humor on the spiritual path and some of your favorite memories of Ishwarji's sense of humor as well.
Thank you, brother. Sense of humor is extremely important in life because Ishwarji has taught us that do not take life too seriously. Do not take life too seriously. And he told us about a two-word mantra. So what? So what? This whole life in the physical world seems to be a maya, illusion. Nothing is real in this life. So what? Sometimes we get angry toward people because they hurt our feelings. Okay, yes. But from a grand scheme of things, from a holistic perspective, this is so futile. Oh, today my boss berated me. Okay, yes. So what? Yesterday, I had a verbal altercation with my spouse. Yes, brother, so what? Oh, my daughter is not doing very well at school. So what? If we can, for a moment, look at things in life from a holistic perspective, we realize that we should take life not too seriously. And in this regard, Ishwarji has told us that the sense of humor is extremely important. In fact, I would like to remind you what Ishwarji said about the senses. He said that we all have 5 senses: sight, hearing, smelling, taste, touching. But there is also the 6th sense, which is the intuition, the hunch within. He said this is also very important. But there is also a 7th sense that is more important, and this is the sense of humor. Moreover, there is an 8th sense, which is, according to Ishwarji, the most important one: common sense. So, again, brother, the sense of humor is very important, and Ishwarji, in many of his spiritual events, has thrown jokes around us. We remember so many jokes that he told us. And again, the reason for that is to try to take things in life lightly. We should not take things too seriously. We have a role to play, and then eventually we're going home. We are going to be merged with the beloved forever. So the sense of humor is very significant, especially amongst spiritually initiates and seekers of the ultimate truth.
Hi, Tarek. Thank you so much for coming. I have a question about so what. That has helped me tremendously, like in my personal life. Something happens to me, so what? Happens to family members, so what? But with some of the things that are happening now in this country and other countries, so what seems sort of cold. So I'm thinking, is it best when you see that others are getting hurt to, ask the Master, could you take care of this, instead of, so what?
Thank you. Absolutely. If you see things, if you experience norms, if you perceive trends, and the two-word mantra, so what, is not working efficiently, then you can definitely, deep within yourself, invoke the Master and plead him to take care of this matter. And he will do it. He will do it without any doubt. Why? Because he is in you. He has ingrained himself in you when he spiritually initiated you. And then eventually, when you fully merge with the Beloved in such kind, you are going to realize that your perfect living Master was no one but your true higher self. So therefore, the Master will do anything for you. It is said in the Sant Mat philosophy in India that the Master will literally move mountains and rivers for the sake of his disciples. So yes, trust the Master. Master knows best. We cannot perceive life from a holistic perspective. Only the Master is in all levels of creation at the same time. Physical, astral, causal, Parbrahm, and Sachkhand at the same time. We cannot do that. We can only be in one level of existence at one time. If we are in the physical world, we are in physical world. If we experience the astral world through time travel during meditation, then we are in the astral world. If we experience ideas and concepts in the causal world, then we are in the causal world. If we experience timelessness in Parbrahm, then we are there in Parbrahm. However, only when the individual soul is completely united with the absolute supreme being in Sachkhand, only at that level of creation we can enjoy being at all levels of creation at all times. So therefore, sister, you can certainly do that. You can invoke the Master deep within yourself to take care of this matter for you, and he will do it. And sometimes the Master acts in very strange ways. We can never fathom the Master. Our mind can never, ever fully understand and totally fathom the Master. The Master knows what is good for you, and therefore he does things on your behalf. He makes miracles for you on a daily basis. This is my own personal experience. Almost on a daily basis, I experience miracles. Not only during meditation, but I'm talking about outer miracles. I was supposed to be on a overseas business trip on April 26, 2025. That is today. It got canceled. So therefore I contacted my good friend Maddie, And I told her, yes, I am available today to give to a spiritual event. And everything was organized. So this is one example. It's like one drop of an infinite ocean. But the Master literally does miracles for you. Trust the Master. Believe in the Master. And it's not a blind faith. It's a living faith. And that differs us from different paths. Why? Because it's a living faith. The Master makes you experience miracles on a daily basis. Thank you, Master. Thank you, Master. We can never, ever thank the Master from now to eternity. It is absolutely amazing what he does to his loved ones, to his initiates. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. How can you reconcile detachment and action when there's so many things going on around us that may need action? And at the same time, we have to practice detachment from everything around. Is it okay to leave it all to the Master? But how do you act?
Thank you. In the Bhagavad Gita, the song of the Lord, of the great philosophy of the Vedas in India, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in Sanskrit, Nistraigunyu Bhavarjun. It means in English, be without the three gunas, O Arjuna. The three gunas are sattva, rajas, and tamas. And I'm not going to go too much into these details, but the point is, when Arjuna was at the battleground of the war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas in Kurukshetra, which is right now in the state of Haryana in India, he looked, he was panicking. He said, Krishna, do you want me to go ahead and fight my cousins, the Kauravas? How can I do that? These are related to my blood. So Krishna tells Arjuna, be without the three gunas, meaning you do your action and don't worry about the result. Established in yoga, you perform action. Don't worry about attachments. You do what is you meant to do in life. You do your best and leave the rest. So that's basically what Krishna tells Arjuna at the battleground of Kurukshetra in the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, Ishwarji has explained to us that we cannot detach ourselves by practicing detachment. It does not work. And in this regard, Ishwarji told us about Shakey's Pizza here in the US when he first came in the early years of his physical presence at the United States of America. How can he practice detachment by telling his mind, I don't want Shakey's Pizza? The more he tries to do that, the more he gets attached to Shakey's Pizza. So the trick is the following, brother. you cannot practice detachment by detaching yourself from that. You can only practice true detachment by attaching yourself to something higher in life. This is how you practice the true detachment. You attach yourself to something higher in life. As far as the part of your question is, what about our action? Yes, you have to perform your duties and responsibilities in this life. You have to. This is your dharma. You have to do that. So therefore, you perform your action to the best of your ability. And Ishwarji tells us, do your best and leave the rest. Leave the rest to who? To the master, of course. But yes, you have to do your thing in life, your dharma. What is your purpose in life? You have to do that. That is required from you. The path of Sant Mat does not tell anyone to go to a cave at the foothills of the Himalayan mountains and to be a recluse, a sannyasi, or a fakir, or a swami. No. The path of Sant Mat is extremely practical. We all have to do our duties and responsibilities in life. But at the same time, we practice meditation with love and devotion to the Master. And that tremendously helps us overcoming negativity and toxicity in the physical world. So you do your action to the best of your ability, you leave the rest to the Master. As far as attachments are concerned, the only way to get rid of these attachments is to attach yourself to something higher, the Master. Brother, does this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tarek. Ishwarji used to sometimes emphasize how meditation will get you nowhere. And it's completely the grace of the Master, and you can't earn self-realization. The Master grants it to you with pure grace. At other times, in almost every talk, he would also emphasize, go within.
Which comes first? Is it the effort of the disciple or the grace of the Master? And during the global coronavirus pandemic, when I had the absolute proud privilege to spend quality time with Ishwarji one-on-one at his beautiful house, he has explained to me that both are important. The effort of the disciple and the grace of the Master. They both go together forward parallel. They both are important. So therefore, our role is to simply do our job. What is our job? What did the Master require from us when he has spiritually initiated us? Meditation. Now, Ishwarji was very flexible. He has never told us we should all meditate 2.5 hours every day. No, we don't have to do that. If a person is a chief executive officer of a multinational company, he does not have the time to do that. So he can do only 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. That's good enough. But practicing meditation should be regular, no matter how many minutes we spend. And it has to be done not mechanically, it has to be done with love and devotion. When we do that, when the Master sees we are putting effort, spontaneously the grace of the Master will flow upon us. Actually, the grace of the Master is always flowing upon us. The cup, which represents our attention, has to be directed upward so that we can collect the droplets of rain, that is the grace of the Master. So when we are regular in our meditation practice, no matter when we do it, it doesn't have to be 3 a.m. in the morning. It could be any time during the day or during the night. When the Master sees us, we are putting some effort, then He's going to let us enjoy His grace. Then the grace will flow upon us automatically. So therefore, effort from the disciple and grace from the Master are both important and significant. Which comes first? It's like asking, which one came first in creation, the hen or the egg? So therefore, effort and grace are both important, and they both take us toward the spiritual path in great motivation and in full momentum. Effort and grace. So, brother, my recommendation to you is to simply practice your meditation. It doesn't matter how many minutes. It doesn't matter what time. With love and devotion, think of the Master. Contemplate on the forehead and the eyes of your Master. And then you're going to enjoy, you're going to have personal experiences of grace flowing in your heart. Brother, I know it sounds like a paradox, but did this answer your question at least partially?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
So Tarek, based on Sunil's question with effort and grace, then sometimes like our family will get going pretty early in the morning. So sometimes I will put in the effort to get up early to meditate, but then, people start getting up, the house starts moving and things get loud. Would it be better to even attempt to get up earlier? In the past, I've tried that, and then I've kind of felt just more tired. Although we've heard that when you get into a state of meditation, it can be restful, so that can sort of substitute the need for sleep. So I think on one hand, maybe I'd like to get up earlier to have the quiet of the house in order to meditate better, or is it okay to just say like, oh, well, I'll try to just get it in later today if the house is moving? I'm not sure about the best course of action. Thank you.
Thank you. I would recommend to do 5 minutes in the morning. Only 5 minutes of meditation with love and devotion. Better do that than to skip it and do it later on. Do you think you can wake up 5 to 10 minutes earlier and just do literally 5 minutes? But it has to be done with love and devotion and with the least outer distractions. The smartphone has to be powered off. You should be by yourself, hopefully, in a private room. No outer distractions whatsoever. 5 minutes, that's not too much. I'm sure you can do that. 5 minutes in the morning, that's it. And then in the evening, minimum 5 minutes, again with love and devotion, without any outer distractions. If you can do more, great. But when the Master realizes that his disciple is putting the effort, oh wow, Maddie really woke up today earlier to do meditation. to remember me. That's very sweet of her. I'm going to give her an extra dose of grace today. He'll do it. It makes a big difference. So, effort from the disciple and grace from the master, they are both important. When we are completely united with the absolute supreme being in Sachkhand, we will realize that there was not really any effort. It was all pure grace. But that is later on. That will only happen when we reach Sachkhand, the ultimate state of existence. So again, sister, I would highly recommend to wake up a little bit earlier. So let's say, for example, you wake up normally at 5:30 in the morning. Normally, let's say, for example, wake up at 5:20. Why? So that you could get ready for this 5 minutes of meditation with absolutely no distractions. Your mind is fresh because you got some restful sleep at night, and you can do your meditation. I would like to share a secret. Well, it's no longer a secret, but Ishwarji has told us on certain occasions that before going to bed, if a spiritually initiated individual mentally repeats the mantra with love and devotion, and he or she falls to sleep, and then they wake up in the morning, all this time of sleep is considered meditation. These are Ishwarji's words. And he told his beloved disciples that on several occasions. You can also do that. Say, for example, at night, you are exhausted. You have a full-time job. You are a full-time homemaker. You are raising a beautiful daughter. Too much. So at night, you can just, when you are ready to go to bed, just, you don't even have to sit up if you want to. While lying down, mentally repeat your Simran with love and devotion. And if you do fall asleep, this entire time, whether you are sleeping 5 hours or 6 hours, whatever it is considered meditation. Thank you. Friends, this concludes part of the spiritual event, the discourse, the meditation, and the Q&A session. We will take a short break, and then after that, I will be available and happy to meet anyone on one-to-one basis if he or she has any personal issues about spirituality. I would be happy to do that before I leave for the greater Chicago area. It has been wonderful to see all these beautiful souls again at the greater Madison area. I will certainly try to return back here sometime this year. Also, brother, I will certainly consider going to Ladysmith, Wisconsin this year as well, per your kind and graceful invitation. Friends, may the love and the grace of our Param Sant, Satguru, Ishwar Puri Ji always and forever bestow upon you. Thank you.